The studio lights blazed hot, a relentless glare that bathed the sleek, modern set of the late-night talk show in an almost clinical glow. The space was all sharp angles and polished surfaces, a futuristic vibe that seemed custom-made for its guest, Elon Musk. He sat perched on a minimalist chair, legs crossed casually, his posture radiating the kind of confidence that came from years of bending the world to his will. His dark jacket hugged his frame, and his eyes, those restless, calculating eyes, darted across the room, taking in the audience, the cameras, the game he was about to play. The host, a wiry man with a salt and pepper beard and a reputation for stirring the pot, leaned forward in his own seat, a sly grin tugging at his lips. He'd been doing this long enough to know when a moment was ripe for chaos, and tonight, with Musk in the hot seat, he could smell it coming. The crowd buzzed with anticipation, a mix of die-hard fans and curious onlookers who'd packed the studio to see the billionaire visionary in the flesh. Musk had been on a tear lately, his ex-posts ricocheting across the internet, equal parts genius and provocation. The host, flipping through his notes with theatrical flair, decided to dive in. Elon, you've been lighting up X like it's your personal playground. I mean, the memes, the hot takes, what's got you so fired up these days? Musk smirked, that trademark half-grin that could mean anything from amusement to disdain. It's just too easy out there, he said, his voice carrying that clipped, slightly accented cadence. People get so wound up over nothing. I'm just having fun. The host's grin widened, sensing an opening. He leaned closer, lowering his tone like a conspirator. Speaking of fun, let's talk about one of your recent targets, Keanu Reeves. You've been pretty vocal about him. What's the deal there? The audience perked up, a ripple of laughter and murmurs spreading through the seats. Musk's smirk grew, his eyes glinting with mischief as he shifted in his chair, clearly relishing the chance to poke the bear. Oh, you mean Mr. Nice Guy, he said, drawing out the nickname with mock reverence. Come on, the guy's a walking meme, breathtaking, right? I mean, I'm out here building rockets, colonizing Mars, while he's dodging CGI bullets in slow motion. The crowd erupted, a wave of laughter crashing through the studio. It was classic Musk, brash, irreverent, and just sharp enough to cut. The host raised an eyebrow, playing along but nudging the stakes higher. So, you're saying Keanu's overhyped? All hype, no substance. Musk shrugged, his nonchalance almost performative. Let's just say I'd trade a Cybertruck for a real action hero any day. Keanu's great for the feels, but I'm the one making the future happen. The jab landed hard, and the audience roared again, feeding off his bravado. A few whoops and claps punctuated the noise, and Musk leaned back, soaking it in, his smirk now a full-on grin. He was in control, steering the conversation exactly where he wanted it, into the realm of spectacle, where he thrived. The host, ever the maestro of tension, let the laughter settle before pressing further. You're not wrong, he's got that whole internet darling thing going. But you really think he's just a Hollywood mirage? Musk waved a hand dismissively, doubling down with the ease of a man who rarely second-guessed himself. Look, he's a nice guy, sure. Everyone loves him, Keanu petting a puppy would break the internet. But let's be real, I'm solving physics, he's reciting lines. It's not even a contest. The audience laughed again, though a few murmurs of dissent flickered in the back, Keanu's fans, perhaps, bristling at the slight. Musk didn't notice, or didn't care. He was riding the wave, the room. Bending to his rhythm, each quip a spark igniting the next. The host scribbled something on his card, then looked up with a glint in his eye that suggested he was about to up the ante. Fair enough, fair enough. But you've got to admit, he's got a certain gravitas. People worship the guy. Musk snorted, a quick, sharp sound. Gravitas. He's got a good PR team. I mean, what's he done lately, John Wick 47? I'm launching starships while he's brooding in leather. The crowd howled, some clapping, others shaking their heads in amused disbelief. Musk was on a roll, his words a mix of playground taunt and billionaire swagger, and the energy in the room crackled with it. He leaned forward now, elbows on his knees, as if daring anyone to challenge him. The host obliged, his voice dropping an octave. So, no love for Neo, huh? You'd take him down in a heartbeat. Musk grinned wider, sensing the trap but too deep in the game to back off. Neo, please. I'd rewrite the Matrix before he could say, whoa. The line was pure gold, and the audience lost it, their laughter bouncing off the walls. The host threw his head back, cackling, then held up a hand to quiet the room. Okay, hold that thought. You're digging a hole here, Elon, and I love it. Musk shrugged again, unfazed, his confidence a shield nothing could pierce, or so he thought. The screens behind them, massive and omnipresent, flickered suddenly, a glitch that silenced the crowd for a split second. The host glanced at them, then back at Musk, his grin turning sly. Well, funny you should mention Neo. A voice cut through the noise, calm but firm, like a blade sliding through silk. Careful, Elon. Words have weight. The screens steadied, and there he was, Keanu Reeves, live via satellite, his face filling the frame. His dark hair framed those soulful eyes, and his expression was serene yet piercingly intense, a quiet strength that seemed to suck the air out of the room. The audience gasped, then cheered, a wave of excitement rippling through the seats. Keanu, the man of the hour, had entered the fray, and he wasn't here to play nice. Musk's smirk faltered, just for a heartbeat, his eyes darting to the screen before he recovered. Oh, look, Neo's here to save the day, he quipped, leaning back with forced ease, his voice dripping with sarcasm. The crowd laughed again, but it was thinner now, less certain, the energy shifting like a tide turning. Keanu didn't flinch, his gaze steady through the satellite feed, 1,000 miles away yet somehow right there in the room. The host clapped his hands, delighted. Ladies and gentlemen, Keanu Reeves, live. This just got good. Musk waved a hand, playing it cool, but his fingers twitched slightly, until he couldn't hide. What's this, an ambush? Did I hurt your feelings, Keanu? He said, his tone light but edged with defiance. The audience tittered, caught between loyalties, sensing the clash brewing. Keanu tilted his head, a faint smile tugging at his lips, and the room held its breath. The air had shifted, charged with something heavier than banter, something Musk hadn't anticipated, a reckoning he couldn't out-talk or out-tweet. The lights seemed to dim, though they didn't, the focus narrowing to the two men, one in the studio, one on the screen, their wills colliding in real time. Musk had walked into this thinking it was his stage, his game, but Keanu's presence changed the rules. The host leaned back, folding his arms, content to let the fireworks unfold. The audience buzzed, phones already out, recording every second. Whatever came next, it was clear Musk had underestimated his target, and the internet, watching live, knew it too. The billionaire's mockery had lit a fuse, and Keanu, with that quiet, unyielding calm, was about to blow it wide open. Musk didn't see it yet, but the trap was sprung, and the world was waiting to see him fall. The tension in the studio spiked like a live wire snapping, the air crackling with anticipation as Keanu Reeves' face dominated the massive screens. His calm, almost serene expression held a weight that silenced the room, his eyes locking onto Elon Musk through the satellite feed with an intensity that felt personal. The audience, still buzzing from Musk's earlier jabs, now leaned forward, sensing a shift, a predator circling its prey. Musk, caught off guard but quick to recover, forced a grin, his posture stiffening as he tried to reclaim the stage. The host, barely containing his glee, clapped his hands together. Oh, this is too good. Keanu Reeves, live, responding to Elon Musk's shade. Keanu, what do you make of all this? Keanu leaned into the camera, his voice low and deliberate, each word landing like a stone in still water. You know, Elon, I don't mock what I don't understand. Building rockets is impressive, nobody's denying that. But inspiring millions without $1 billion budget, that's a different kind of power. The crowd oohed, a ripple of excitement spreading through the seats. It wasn't just a comeback, it was a challenge, delivered with the quiet strength that had made Keanu a legend. Musk's jaw tightened, his smirk thinning as he shifted in his chair. Inspiration's cheap, Keanu, he fired back, his tone sharper now, tinged with irritation. Results matter. I'm changing the world while you're playing pretend in movies. The audience murmured, some clapping for Musk's bravado, others waiting for Keanu's response. The host raised an eyebrow, egging them on. Playing pretend. Harsh words, Elon. Keanu, you gonna let that slide? Keanu's faint smile returned, almost pitying, and he tilted his head slightly, like a teacher about to school a brash student. Results. Let's talk results, then. I've got a clip for you. The words hung in the air, and before Musk could retort, the screens behind him flared to life, the studio lights dimming to focus every eye on what came next. The footage was grainy at first, a shaky camcorder vibe from the late 90s, but it sharpened into clarity, a crowded sci-fi convention, all neon lights and cosplay chaos. There, unmistakable despite the years, was a young Elon Musk, lanky and wide-eyed, his hair a mess of youthful ambition. He was talking animatedly to a friend, his voice crackling through the old audio. "Dude, the Matrix blew my mind. The whole simulation thing, it's like, what if we're all in a program? Keanu's Neo, man, he's the key to it all. I'm gonna build stuff that makes that real." The crowd gasped, then erupted into laughter, the irony hitting like a sledgehammer. The Elon Musk, the self-styled visionary who'd just mocked Keanu as a CGI stuntman, had once been a fanboy, inspired by the very man he now dismissed. Musk's face flushed a deep red, his confident facade crumbling live on air. He opened his mouth, then closed it, his hands gripping the arms of his chair. "That's, edited," he stammered, his voice betraying a rare crack of panic. The host pounced, barely hiding his grin. "Edited. Looks pretty real to me, Elon. That's you, right? Big Keanu fan back in the day." The audience roared, some chanting, "Neo! Neo!" as Musk squirmed, his usual quick wit deserting him. The clip looped on the screens, young Elon's starry-eyed gushing playing over and over, a humiliating time capsule that stripped away his armor. Keanu's voice returned, soft but lethal, cutting through the chaos like a blade. "No regrets, Elon. Maybe next time, don't poke the guy who's been living in your head rent-free." The line was a knockout punch, delivered with such understated grace that the crowd exploded, applause and cheers shaking the studio. Musk sank back in his chair, speechless for perhaps the first time in his life, his eyes darting to the floor as if searching for an escape. The host, now openly laughing, threw his hands up. "Keanu Reeves, ladies and gentlemen." Dropping truth bombs from halfway across the world. The internet, watching live, went feral. X lit up with clips of the exchange, memes sprouting like wildfire. Young Elon in his convention t-shirt juxtaposed with his stunned face tonight, captioned, "When you mock Keanu but he owns you." Others showed Keanu's serene smile with, "Be excellent to each other, and don't mess with Neo." The hashtag Keanu vs Elon trended globally within minutes, each post amplifying Musk's misstep into a digital crucifixion. Fans and trolls alike dissected every frame, turning the moment into a cultural artifact, a cautionary tale about hubris meeting humility. Musk tried to salvage it, forcing a laugh and muttering, "Okay, touché, I'll give him that one." But the damage was done. The audience's laughter wasn't with him anymore, it was at him, a sound that stung more than he'd ever admit. The host, sensing the segment's peak, pivoted to wrap it up. "Well, folks, I think we just witnessed history. Keanu, any last words?" Keanu's smile widened just a fraction, his eyes still locked on Musk through the screen. "Just keep building, Elon. But maybe build some respect, too." The crowd roared again, and the feed cut, Keanu's face fading to black, leaving Musk alone under the unforgiving lights. As the show cut to commercial, the studio buzzed with post-fight energy, phones glowing as attendees uploaded their takes. Musk stayed seated, his grin gone, replaced by a tight-lipped mask. He'd walked in expecting to dominate, to toss off a few quips and cement his untouchable status. Instead, Keanu had turned his own words against him, exposing a vulnerability the world hadn't seen before. The clip of young Elon would haunt him, a reminder that even titans could fall when they underestimated a man who'd made a career of defying odds with quiet strength. The night wasn't over, but the story was already written. Keanu Reeves had won, not with bluster or billions, but with a truth so sharp it cut through the noise, leaving Musk to pick up the pieces of his pride on live TV.